G'day everyone, Ben here from the Central Coast Community Environment Network. In today's video we're going to have a look at some of the methods behind treating those pesky weeds that you might find on your properties. In particular, we're going to go through the use of herbicide, which some of you might be a little bit more uncomfortable using. So you can see here we have quite a robust length of lantana that we're going to try and manually remove today. Unfortunately, it appears to be layering, which is the case when it hits the ground and sends out multiple root systems. So the first thing we're going to want to do is grab our trusty tool belt and our saw, and we're going to perform something called skirting, which is essentially where we cut all parts of the lantana about 1 metre off the ground or chest height. So everything from here up we know is going to die, and then we can follow what's falling on the ground with the root systems and treat that more effectively.
That's looking.
Hey!
Oh. Got the face there, haven't we?
So we've got a large leaf privet here today. It's one of the woody weeds that we find commonly across the east coast. Something of this size, it's quite thin in the stem, is going to require something called a cut and paint method, where I'm going to make a cut to the base of this and apply herbicide, so normally undiluted glyphosate or Roundup. So the first thing that I need to do is make sure that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and clear some of this fern from around the base so I can make a proper cut. So you can use your hands if you've got good gloves, or a tool like a trowel, to just clear around the base and have good access to it. So now that I can see what I'm doing, I'm going to use my clean, sharpened secateurs to cut as low to the ground without actually getting any dirt in the wound on this privet, because soil kind of neutralizes the effectiveness of the glyphosate, so we want to make sure that it's a clean cut. So I'll do 1 snip, 2 snip, and within about 10 to 15 seconds of the incision you want to apply your herbicide. So I'm using a little applicator bottle here which is labelled glyphosate. And to make it even more effective, some of these roots we can even do a little bit of a scrape, just lightly to reveal some of that green living tissue underneath. And this is a good example of the scrape and paint application. But it's most important that you do a cut and paint first, really close to the ground, applying your herbicide to the incision. So we've just seen the cut and paint method using Roundup or glyphosate on large leaf privet. We're now going to watch landowner Pat apply the exact same method, but this time with a hand saw, as this is a little bit thicker in diameter to do with the secateurs. So you can probably just go a little bit lower on that, Pat.
I haven't got any chemical here.
So a nice clean straight cut close to the soil level without getting dirt in the wound, and applying your herbicide within 10 to 15 seconds afterwards.
Okay.
Cool. So here we have a woody weed that's a little bit too large in diameter for me to cut with my secateurs. And it's even a little bit large for me to cut with my hand saw. So we're going to implement a method called frilling or stem injection. The tools I'm going to be using today are a nice sharp clean chisel and just my handy dandy hammer. And what we're going to be aiming to do is create small little chisel marks in which we can put our herbicide in. So I'm carrying my herbicide in an applicator bottle, and it's clearly labelled with glyphosate. So the first thing I've done is cleared around the base of this woody weed so I can see what I'm doing, because you want to start as low as possible with your first chisel mark. So we're just going to pick a spot nice and low on the roots. So you can see I'm angling my chisel on a 45-degree angle, because we're really only targeting the first couple of layers of tissue. This is the living tissue, which is going to actively transport your chemical. Now you can see I'm using something called a bricking technique. So I'm layering my chisel marks up as if I'm stacking them. So the edge of my chisel here, when I move to the next incision, will line up with the corner of this one here. And that way you more effectively get chemical into the plant. Making sure that we apply our herbicide within about 10 or 15 seconds after the incision's been made. That'll do.